Yes, yo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. And hopefully everybody's having a great day. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whatever you are watching this video from, whatever time. I don't know which country you are watching it from. Anyway, if today is your first time seeing me on your TV, your laptop, your iPad, your phone screen, my name is The Habit of Nations, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For my new subscribers, please consider clicking on the subscribe button. For my old subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for giving me your eyes and your time. Like today, without wasting much of your time, I have an interesting video for every one of you out there. And today's topic is said, if African Americans were to go back to Africa, which country would they immigrate to or immigrate to? Let me read that again. It said, if African Americans were to go back to Africa, which country would they immigrate to? Well, man, that's a very strong. Before I read the article, let me say something, please. Like I said, don't forget to click the like button when watching this video, and please try to watch this video to the end. Don't be in a hurry, because this is a very interesting topic, especially when you are a black man or a black woman. It doesn't matter what your nationality is. This is Africa topic, right? Like I said, for me, before I start reading the article, let me just give my own two-penny opinion. I think it will be very hard to choose any country for any African or for African America if they decide to migrate back to the continent. It will be very hard, because everybody knows that during the slave trade, a lot of people were taken from different places, and when they took them to these different countries, to America, Europe, they were forced not to speak their languages anymore, and they were forced not to answer the African names anymore. So it was very difficult. But without wasting much of your time, let's go straight to the topic. And he said, this guy said, his name is David Funes, or whatever. He said, which one they like, right? He said, at this point, it will be super hard for any African American to feel really at home in any African country. This is because African Americans no longer have a sense of African identity. Slaves were not allowed to keep their names, not even their language. There was a lot of intermarrying, so that a Fuller might have married and Madika, I hope I pronounced that right. He said, and their children might have married a Yoruba. One on the other hand, African identity has evolved because of the birth of this nation state as the result of colonization. There was no such thing as Nigeria when the ancestors of African America were plucked away from Africa. He said, and these administrative entities that evolved into our modern state, arbitrary and ill advised though they might be, say, and more than 100 years old now, no one alive remember what it was like to live before colonization. Ivory Coast officially came into existence in 1893, and he said these men are in Kong, in the north of Ivory Coast. I have seen women dressed this way. I have never known any man of my ethnic group in my lifetime to wear any such thing. This type of architecture is gone. That word is irrevocably lost, even to me. So, an African American will have no direct connection to any of this. In a way, it will be liberating. They would largely be immune from ethnic strife, except in the specific case of Liberia, Bahau. But no country in Africa will feel like home for African American. Many African Americans don't realize how American they are until they go to Africa. For my own part, if I were to recommend a country in West Africa, I would recommend Ghana. Said people speak English, the streets are clean, and the inhabitants are very friendly. Said if I were to return to Africa permanently, it would be where I would settle. And he continued, Davis, he said, Michael Marcialo and Nick Nicholas, not sure why, but today seems to be my Africa Day. And Seki Ritru said, what are your qualifications to speak for black people? What about Libya? Why do you think they murdered Gaddafi? Maybe because he embraced and welcomed American blacks. Why did they intentionally run Mr. Marcus Garvey Pan-African movement? They have wanted black to live for far more reasons than I have time to elaborate at this time. Sorry, guys. So I continue reading. He said that's true for a lot of European America now too. Was your ancestry country? All of them plus some that no longer exist. And Kelvin said, especially for Jews, my ethnic group, lot of countries, but none we would be connected to, and many of our people there would not want us back. Bro, we want yours guy back. We want everybody back. Come back. And Tim Ward said, which is one of the reasons I think the Times African America is silly. It does not make sense for me to call myself European America, or of my grandparents were born in America. Okay, all four of my grandparents were born in America. My most recent arrival to the US among my ancestors was my great-grandfather Freeze, who died decades before I was born and came through Ellis Island in 1908. If that's the case, then it seems absurd for an American black person to call themselves African American. Since many, if not most of their ancestors have been here for 150 years or more, and of course there is this distinction between African American and recent African immigrants like Abibi, who are culturally likely to be very different. And since you said my ancestors were here in the 1600, long before Ellis Island white folks, and I find it very insulting that white folks should be telling black folks what to call themselves. Yes, I am African American, giving honor to my ancestral root in various African nations, but born in America. And Michael said, that's all nice and sweet, darling, but hate to break it to you, you are no longer Africa. I am Africa. You so-called African America don't try to get to know your root. Instead, most of you mock us. European America at least travel to Europe to try and get to know more, even though they stand out like crocodile in an alligator conference despite being the same color. The only things us Africans and you black Americans have in common is the color of our skin. Don't mean any disrespect, but I stand to be corrected. And Cynthia replied him back and said, yes, I have studied the African countries that my root originated from. I thank God for DNA. I never said I was Africa. Yes, I am an American by birth, but my ancestors come from Africa. As far as Monkey you, where do you get that information? Do you know me? And Jack said, now, how in the world are you going by the aliens Michael Lynch, which is clearly not an African name, but extremely US American? Whether the person be black or white, you are a phony, wanna be us, and that's why you are not here. You are right, skin tones, yes, same people, absolutely, not and never. Just worry about Africa and stay there. We don't want or care about your freaking foreign opinion. Audacity, shame on you. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. I don't want to bite my tongue. But let me try though. It said, Akebuntu get. Be proud of your real name, jealous. And Michael said, I'm actually a black British of African origin. The name is Irish, so yeah. How embarrassing for you to think everything in the US related. I also live in the UK, so there is that. I won't respond to the rest of it at all. Glabrishry or whatever I said. And Jack said, you said you were an African. You said you were an African. Now you are European. You are truly the problem with the world and a pure not. You clearly don't know who you are. How embarrassing. The audacity of you to attempt to define another person's culture when you don't even know your own. It might blow in pathetic. What a joke. Of course, you have nothing to say. If you did, it clearly would be no sense. Jealousy and envy is sick and sad. You're comical and refreshing at the same time. You have exceeded my throat. Prompts to you being you, whatever in the world that may be. LOL. And he said, if you are not American, mind your own business. Otherwise, you are envious to think anyone cared about you or your foreign opinion. Seriously, go check, find a therapist. I'm not joking. You need help. I think they was trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do there. Pauline said, would I want to be outsider in England, Holland, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Germany, or Wales? I believe the Germans were actually Hanoverian who left before unification. Most of those are based on the etymology of names as the intermarriage occurred after several generations in North America, and few were isolated from their neighbors here. And this one said, I met many repatriated African Americans in Ghana. I intended to eventually live some of my life there. It is just as you described. Plus, it's cheap to live there with high quality of life. It said, Ghana seems wonderful. I am saving up to go visit in a month or so. It said, come soon. We like tourists a lot, right? And this guy said, patient said, why in Ghana? Try visit Emina Castle in Cape Coast. It has a lot of history related to the slave trade. It's where they were kept before being shipped to America. I am in Nigeria, but felt very emotional during my visit there some years ago. This one said, also Ghana has made a lot of effort in welcoming and offering citizenship to African Americans, which explains why there's a sizable African American population there. And this one said, it will be great to know your opinion about Liberia. I remember how I was buzzed when reading Uncle Tom's I remember when I was reading Uncle Tom's gabbing with all these free black who, instead of staying in Canada, decided to return to Liberia. He said, only seeing this now, it's very tragic story. The people who returned to Africa acted a plantation society in which state greatly mistreated the local. This one said, now that I reread your answer, I think how curious it is that you, a native of Ivory Coast, prefer the neighboring Ghana. Why do you think if you still think so that it is better? Also, the boss my brain, this is English someday. And this one said, and speaking about Liberia, my question was not so much about what happened. I know that those guys showed themselves was colonizer many of white ones. I think I was rather asking you about the idea of Liberia. If we are in 1850 and you are a free black man who managed to do the underground railroad and escape to Canada, would you go to Liberia and try to build a better Liberia, or would you stay in Canada? He said, me, Canada, but Canada is cold. I think people also wanted to run away from the racism though. This one said, I will suggest South Africa, which will look but not necessarily feel more like home, since there is about the same kind of mixed race there. Snow, the climate may also seem more familiar, given that there will be 4 seasons that Americans know well. And this one said, I felt comfortable in South Africa and would not have an issue living there. I cannot make a comparison with any West Africa country, as I have never been to any. Outside of Africa continent, most black African Americans will feel comfortable in any British Caribbean country. And it said it is hardly the same kind of mix, almost diametrically opposite, but the weather is that kind. And that's the Tanzania, too highly recommended. So this was all the comments, articles people were making about which country African Americans should migrate to if they wish. If they wish to migrate, right? But the question is, which country would they migrate to? Is it Ghana? Is it West Africa? Is it East Africa? Let's not even go to North Africa, because North Africa is another Africa country. Africa continent that does not even act like Africans. So let me know what you think about the comment section. Let me know what you think where the African American would love to migrate to. But I know, let me say like 70 to 80% will say Ghana, because Ghana government are the only government, excuse me guys, that opened their arm. I opened their arm for African American, Ghana and Liberia. Liberia to open their arms for African American to come to their country. So let me know what you think on the comment section. Like I said, my name is the Heartbeat of Nations, and please don't forget to click on the subscribe button if today is your first time. And like this video, share this video. I will definitely see you on my next video. God bless Africa. Peace out.